She's fine. I'd like to call this meeting of Palmyra Borough Council to order. Would everyone please rise for Pledge of Allegiance and moment of silence for the armed services. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Brenda, may we please have roll call?
Counselor Andrews.
Present.
Counselor Catalani.
Here.
Counselor Fliego.
Here.
Counselor Garber.
Here.
Counselor Caroli. Here. Counselor Touche.
Here.
Counselor Shear.
Here.
Mayor Carpenter. We have a quorum.
Just a reminder to please silence all cellular devices during the meeting. Thank you. No special visitors, which takes us to public comment period number 1. Please state your name and address for the record and try to limit your comments to 5 minutes. Nobody? Okay. All right, closing public comment period number 1. Moving on to the consent calendar. The following agenda items will be acted upon by a single motion unless a member of Borough Council wishes a specific item to be voted on separately. Approve the minutes of the February 13th, 2024 Borough Council meeting. Approve payment of all bills listed on the January 2024 detailed checklisting report. And approve the treasurer's report for the period January 1 through January 31, 2024.
Hearing no questions, I'll move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Excuse me. All right, that takes us to action and discussion items. Road closure request, Palmyra Civic Baseball Opening Day Parade. Discussion on it if appropriate. Suggested motion is to authorize the closure of the roads necessary for the Palmyra Civic Baseball Association to conduct an opening day parade on Saturday, April 6th, 2024 at 9 a.m. utilizing following parade route beginning at Forge Elementary School, south on Prince Street, east on Cypress, south onto Duke, east onto Elm, south onto Sandalwood, turning north onto Colonial Road, west onto Sycamore Lane, west onto Elm, turning north onto South Duke Street, and finishing at the Forge Road Elementary School baseball fields. Chief, do you have any issue with that?
Have we had any more luck getting, like, what they call fire police to help with these, or
Kind of looking at the fire police.
what? Yeah, I don't know that.
Roger gets Scott to set up the barricades. We set the barricades up. We either lead or bring up the rear and then open things back up, and it works.
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Report, I will not be at the next meeting. Just a heads up.
Heads up.
Jimmy, right?
Other than that, I don't have anything. I gave you 2 weeks.
Appreciate that.
All right, that takes us to the. That's okay. That takes us to the financial report. Everybody should have the financial statement in front of them. Any questions on that? Questions, comments, anything? Okay. Good. Anthony?
I'm good. I've been good.
Thank you.
Testament to the report.
All right, that takes us to fire department. We're too quiet tonight, all right. Library report.
I did email it, I did not get in your packets, but just email it, or, okay.
Jane, have you been reading the emails I've been CCing you on?
Yes.
With the
Yes,
situation?
yes, and I actually took myself out of the conversation. In fact, I left when the library board was discussing it. Figured being on council and the library board and the police commission probably not the best.
Yeah.
A little conflict there, a lot of conflict there, so.
Well, just so council knows, in October, we receive our notification of what the next year's premium's gonna be for the healthcare. The library, 2 employees of the library are on the healthcare system with us.
That the borough gets reimbursed for.
Yes, yes, the library
Library,
pays
yes.
us for that. Well, back in October, we had the amount that we were going to pay in 2024 minus the police department. And that's the amount we were given, with the intention that the regional department would be up and running as of January 1st. Fast forward to January 1st, we're not ready for the regional department, and it was never thought to go back to the library and let them know that now we've got a 15% increase in our premiums. So we're billing them for more than they budgeted. So we're hoping that the department, or the regional department, actually gets up and running as soon as possible, because there is the possibility that our actuaries with the benefits will lower our premium. So that means the library's hit on the medical benefits will not be a 12-month hit, it will be hopefully a couple months, which is still a lot of money to assume.
But, I mean, I certainly can see how it happened, but just so you all know, I did take myself out of the conversation. I actually left the meeting because I thought it was a big conflict.
Yeah, I had been including Jane in conversations between me and Chelsea because
Yeah.
of being on both boards, so that somebody was aware. So Chelsea's been good at staying in touch, and we've been giving her as much information as we get it.
Yes, perfect.
Okay. Anything else for library? Takes us to police department.
I don't really have a whole lot unless you have questions on the sheet that I gave you. I mean, it was January, it was cold, it was snowy, so it
Yeah, I was
Kinda
surprised no
worked
foot patrol.
No bike patrol.
Put on your boots.
Yeah. Oh, there was foot patrol, there
was
wasn't
13
bike
and a
patrol.
half hours.
Yeah, there was no bike patrol.
We have bike patrol this
Yeah.
month already. Somebody went out yesterday because it was
Yeah.
like
Nice.
60,
Yeah.
so,
Not tomorrow.
by the weekend.
Is the regional still set for, an April date? Or has that moved?
What's that?
Has the
Push it back a little bit.
okay.
There's a lot of ducks to get in a row.
Once you get over one hoop, everything will fall together. That's all.
Anybody have any questions for the police department? Anything else?
I guess I have just a quick question. Once they become a regional police, will Chief still be coming here, or how's that gonna work? I just was curious. I was thinking that, or is it that you just would
Do
go?
whatever you want. Look at them shaking their head. I can come to some, miss some, I can do whatever, but.
I was thinking also, like, it's still nice to have, or maybe some officer, if like, they might not need to give a report, because they'll be reporting to a commission for safety reasons too. I don't see what, you never know what's gonna go on in this world today.
I'm betting I'll be at both of them, so it won't
That's,
really
that, I
matter.
mean, but like, if we didn't need them here, we
You're
could
gonna
see
have
them
the
reporting there.
regional commission and both
I can do it, I'm not that worried.
municipality?
Or like if, like maybe another officer wanted to just to come and maybe add some input, because I guess the main meeting would be the commission, meetings on
We always
Wednesday.
like to see Sergeant
I'm just,
If I had to guess, whoever was working 3 to 11 will probably stop for
Yeah.
one of them. I'll probably come to one and let somebody come to another.
yeah, I just was thinking, cause just always better be safe than sorry. That's my mentality.
You sound a little like Pat Hennessy and Gary Lauderdale.
Listen, once you have a kid, I have a kid.
No, I
think about-
understand. I understand.
You think about every avenue. So, okay, I'm done.
Good point.
That is a good point. Anybody else? Okay. All right, that takes us to the Rec Commission.
That was emailed. I didn't,
Yes.
I saw it was emailed. I didn't open it because I get all that stuff, but.
Solicitor's report, I don't remember seeing anything.
No, I don't think we have much pending with her right now.
Okay, takes us to zoning and codes enforcement. Zoning officer codes enforcement monthly report.
Got that last month.
Yeah, that was last month. And zoning hearing board, so we'll have that in the next packet. And then the zoning hearing board, no hearing scheduled for Monday, March 11th at 5:30, which takes us to the borough manager's report.
Just a couple things. I emailed the county hazard mitigation plan, 300 and, or almost 400 pages worth of fabulous reading. We have to pass a resolution to approve the plan, so I have the resolution
When?
ready. We can do it whenever. I don't think there's a timeline on it, but
I haven't
I'd rather
looked
do
at
it sooner than later, but.
Okay.
That's
So
when I
that was my question, when do you want us to put that on the agenda? And does anybody want a hard copy of that massive report?
Wait, is that this?
I prefer
Yes.
to read
Oh.
things
Yeah, I
on
have it right
paper,
here.
but
Yeah.
I'm not going to have you print out all those pages. I will read it electronically.
So I recommend reading it through, because South Londonderry went through it, and in here, they want you agreed upon, but then they're also in here, they word it a way about how, my gosh, now, what was the word, what did I say last time about how the, everything is caused by the environment and stuff? I'm just having a brain fart, I'm sorry. But anyway, they read it through because they got like a little pamphlet or like a little thing that said a summary. And so they read all through it and they wanted you to agree to it and you know, whatnot. But there were certain things in there that certain people didn't really agree upon, like, they
thought
didn't
they
believe
passed
in
it.
that.
Didn't they just pass it?
Well, that's just what I
Or-
was told last week when I
Okay.
met with them also. That's just what I was
Yeah,
told.
the premise is we have to have a hazard mitigation plan, and this is an update to it, in order, if we have a disaster, to get state and federal funds.
And the last one was several years ago.
It was like 2018, I think,
Yeah.
was the last one. They usually do it every 5
Yeah.
years.
As far as
I so look forward to reading 320 pages.
340.
Me too.
Sorry.
So
I
it-
start tonight.
You might have it done by
Maybe
the
done
next
in a
meeting.
month.
They kind of identify the hazards, and then we're supposed to agree to try to do things policy-wise to mitigate those hazards. So, and I'm sure I haven't read through it, all of it myself either, but I'm sure there's the environmental stuff is in there now.
Well, yeah, because that trickles down from
Yep.
federal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll get on it. I'll be doing this weekend.
You guys have your homework.
And the other item came up because we almost had a potential hearing before our Uniform Construction Codes Board of Appeals, of which we have no members right now. I guess they're either passed away, moved out of the area. So we need to find, they have to be contractors, engineers, or some people in the trades of some aspect that can sit on the board. We've only ever had one appeal the whole time this has been in place, but I did reach out to South Londonderry because I didn't know what they did. I know the county has a Board of Appeals, but then we have to use them as our UCC enforcement inspectors. With Light Heigl right here, they do a great job for us. I don't see the reason to change. South does their own thing, so I approached them about maybe creating a regional Board of Appeals. If they didn't wanna do that, they found their own people and they're good to go, so.
How many do we
have to
need?
find- Just 3.
Wonder if-
And they don't have to live in the borough,
okay.
so
I mean, I can,
it makes it a little
Yeah.
easier, but. So if you know of anybody or,
wonder if Hartman,
might be a
I mean, he's-
possibility.
he seemed very,
Well, anybody that's a certified contractor would know the code, so.
Can you reach out to him?
Yeah, we can reach out to them.
Anybody opposed to the idea?
and anybody in trades?
It could be
Yeah.
any trade?
Could be an electrician?
Yeah, electrician, plumber, yeah,
Okay,
or any engineer.
okay.
Other than that, I don't think I have anything else.
Anybody have anything for Roger? I actually have, I noticed the hand dryer in the ladies' room has been out of order. What is going on with that? What's up with that?
It just needs to be pulled apart and checked out. We've had that situation once before. It's just not a priority.
Okay.
We turned the circuit off and,
Okay,
no, it's not running.
okay. Just curious.
I replaced the circuit board in it once before, so I don't know if that's the problem again or not.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah.
All right. No communications, any other business, chief? Bill?
The borough sent me to a newly elected municipal official meeting, or training, which was pretty cool. Appreciate that, thank you guys.
You ended up learning a lot of,
There's a lot of information,
Yes.
2 full
Yes.
days.
yes.
You're next week?
I am Friday and Saturday this week.
It's 2
I
full
remember
days.
when I did it,
Yeah, I remember
one of
when I
the
did too.
largest snowstorms we had. Yeah,
Is it around here?
Yeah, it was in Harrisburg. Yeah, it was pretty good. A lot of horror stories,
have a
so
couple different
I think
places
we're
to do
very
it.
fortunate,
yes.
actually. We may have our own problems, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's,
Are you getting the magazines now? Those are.
I haven't gotten a magazine yet, but I
You
got
will.
my folio.
You will.
I think I just got mine today.
Yeah, you'll get a big pile. My son plays like with it when he plays with his cars and stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I read them.
For those of you who are new, reading that, find out after what happened to your arm. Reading that, the question, there's a column of questions and answers. Those are very good to read, so I suggest you do read those. You do learn a lot. Sometimes they're repeated, but
And I also find it's interesting sometimes with the bigger articles in there. Sometimes they're relevant to things going on with our
and
borough.
it does keep you up to date on what the state is doing,
Yeah.
so, or what they're not doing.
Not doing, probably.
Yeah, it's true. Anything else? For them? Jim? Nancy? Jane? Anthony?
Nope.
Roger? Brenda? Okay. All right, that takes us to public comment period number 2. Please state your name and address. Please come up to the podium. State your name and address for the record and try to limit your comments to
Hey, Andy,
3
you wanna
minutes.
turn that on for him? The bottom button. Hold it in. There you go.
Don Barry, 711 North Grant Street. A question I never asked when I was up here. Do we send the newsletter pamphlets out enough for all the residents in apartments that are being rented? Or do we send them out just to the owner?
I'm happy to answer that question. We originally started sending them just to the property owner. And then the issue came up that the tenants were not getting them. Well, then we started sending them out to the tenants when we started to learn who the tenants were. And we have on our envelopes, address correction requested. So every tenant that didn't live there anymore came back to us to the tune of hundreds of dollars of returned postage that we had to cover. Sorry, I don't mean to disrespect tenants, but the borough can't keep reaping that loss.
And if you bulk them to the owner, that would cost money also. Where I'm getting at is, on social media, all you hear is complaints about things that don't go on in the borough. Mainly, right now, of course, waste management. A lot of that is concerns, I think, they're putting the wrong stuff in the recycling, and the guys aren't taking the recycling because it's in there, all that good stuff. And I was wondering why these people don't know this. I understand if you just moved here, you ask the question. I usually post the website. Here's your answer, you know, one of those deals.
Right.
I walk the alleys, I walk the streets. It's ridiculous, the non-recyclables that they put in those things, and they end up in other people's yards because they're not contained, because they're recyclables. Well, they're not, but they think they're recyclables. It's ridiculous.
Well, we tried to take the attitude that if we informed the tenant directly, that hopefully that education would continue. The issue is, the borough is not a utility. We cannot put our sewer and our refuse bills in the names of the tenants. Our customer is the property owner. So the property owner of record gets the newsletter. The newsletter is always online. The newsletter we will mail to anybody if they call us and they want to get it, or they're welcome to stop into the office and pick it up. But, you know, we can only hope that our customer, the property owner, educates their tenant and lets them know. Now, I know that could be, you know, yeah, well, that could be a high, you know.
Entertain that question, getting it on the internet, possibly somebody will hear it, you know.
Well, yeah, and we have the same question from our property owners, and we very gladly tell them, that's your customer. And if there's a problem there and we receive a complaint from there, we are not going to the tenant. We are citing the property owner. So it's incumbent upon them to educate every one of their tenants on what the rule is and how to follow it. So otherwise, they will be the ones that are cited. That's the difference.
I remember when I first moved to the borough, my landlords actually showed me where all the recycling bins, the trash bins, and told me what was recyclable and not. Now that has changed
Yeah.
since I moved here, but.
And I know it's involving back and forth, the different recyclables, and, I mean, we just did tin cans when I first moved into borough.
Well, actually, Don, the issue that we had with the return mail is one of the reasons that we really push for the rental registration program. Because tenants, you could have a newsletter go out in one quarter and send them out to all the tenants, and the next quarter, you're getting a change of address. Because within 3 months, that person that lived there no longer lived there. So now it's incumbent upon the property owner to register within 10 days of a tenant leaving that place. They have to let us know. So would it cut down on return mail? Well, we hope so, but I'm skeptical, because how do we know that they've left us know within 10 days that somebody's left? So, but it has helped. The rental registration has helped incredibly with some of those issues. But we go back to the fact that, you know, our customer is the property owner. And that's just the bottom line. We're not a utility. We are not regulated by the PUC. We are under no obligation to change the name of the account to anybody that lives there based off of a lease.
That's all that's rattling around up here for now.
Okay.
Thank you. So, I'm sorry.
No, you go.
So are you still sending the newsletter to the tenants that?
No,
That's a lot of That's a lot of wasted taxpayer money.
Not even the ones that didn't come back.
We have 1,500
Okay.
apartments. To send a
That
newsletter.
makes sense why I'm not getting
Yeah,
it anymore.
yeah.
Because I
That's why
was,
you're not
and then I'm
getting
not,
it.
and I'm like,
Well, I thought you'd get your sewer bill.
right, but
Would that
I think my
come-
landlords are thinking that I still get it from the borough. I think.
Oh.
But it's
Because for a
available to
while,
you.
I was.
It's available to you.
I know.
Go online and read it.
I have a quick question, and that's, I know we talked about in the past about the recycling, like they put the trash out the night before. I still see people, they leave it out like all week. You know, is there anything we come to any resolution about, like, doing something, because trash all in the alley, especially when it gets windy out, and they don't bring it in, or they don't put in some type of shelter, like I always bring mine in and put it in my garage and take care of it, but is there anything that, because I know we talked about that, but I don't remember coming to any type of resolution on that.
I'm not sure there is really a
Can we do-
resolution on that.
Can we
mean, I
do
know-
anything, can we do anything about that? Because that is a problem, I think, in some areas. My alley sometimes becomes like, oh my gosh, it's like a tornado went off. It's crazy.
Let's not talk about Tornado Alley,
I was gonna say, that's somewhere else in town.
Yeah,
my cul-de-sac.
yeah, yeah. But is there anything
I
that,
pick up recycling and garbage out of my front lawn every week.
jeez, is there anything that can be done about that, or no?
You know, the problem is, we pass ordinances for these sort of things, but the enforcement rule, it always comes down to who is going to enforce it. So if you're saying to people, you can't put your trash out until the night before your trash day, who is going to drive around the night before the trash day and that particular trash collection date to find out?
Right.
Who's going to do that?
And, yeah, and somebody's gonna have to drive around and say, okay, well, now the trash was picked up this morning, but it's the next morning and the trash can's still out.
Yeah, I mean,
And technically, I don't think trash is supposed to, be out until like dusk the night before
well,
or
that's
something
just
like
it.
that. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, and
what I
I'll be
thought.
honest with you, I think we're probably all guilty of putting it out a little early. I know
I
I
put mine,
have
I
been,
put mine
If
at
there's a
dusk.
holiday especially.
yes. With the snow we had, that's 2 weeks this year that we had snow, and the trash for certain people was,
Out longer.
yeah.
and while we're talking trash, since we're on other business, I'd like to address the public that's watching also. Waste management does not follow our holiday schedule. They follow their own. So if we have a holiday, it does not mean it's Waste Management's holiday. Because we just had President's Day and people called and complained that they didn't put their trash out because the borough was closed, but Waste Management came through. Okay, we've put it on the website, we put it in every newsletter. I don't know what else we can do to educate these folks.
It's not a government, like I had to work on President's Day.
They have 6 holidays.
Yeah,
You know,
We
they
had
have the
school on
6 major
President's Day.
holidays, and that's when they're off, and then the trash is delayed by 1 day pickup. It'll be Tuesday through Friday.
Never even think of President's Day as a holiday, because I don't know that I've ever had that off.
some schools, I think I did. I have another one just came to me, a question. I was driving on Ridge Road this past weekend, I see those trees there still, and his little deer, and he has 2 of them. Gave me a little fright, so
And a fox.
and a fox?
Deer and a fox.
Oh,
It does jump out at you,
Yeah.
like the one time, so I wasn't sure, like,
Nighttime
what's
it's
going on
worse.
with that? It's been, going on a
Doing
year?
litigation.
so, but thank you for bringing that up, because I just heard another report that there was a coyote spotted around in Palmyra.
What?
Really?
In the
Yes.
borough?
Yes. So there was one, do you guys remember there was one that they said was coming over from the quarry or something a couple years ago?
Oh, I did hear
So,
about that.
I saw the red fox yesterday afternoon up on the hill. He's up sunbathing and he's always between there, the horse farm. He's a regular occurrence. And if they're thinking it's a coyote,
well, yeah. Well, I mean, that's possible, but the person who told me,
I mean, there are coyotes around, there's
Yeah.
no doubt about it.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, so,
this year out past the quarry on the other side.
how many?
5. Just this year alone, we've hunted 4 times.
so is, like,
Okay, just watch your pets. Watch your outside pets.
Yeah, so
And
is,
children.
we're just still going through that with that gentleman at that residence?
Yeah.
And he's not gonna like, you don't think he'll let up at all?
Have to know they were that close.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're pretty much at the court level at this point, so.
Worry about
Okay,
animals.
just was
You don't
curious.
normally leave out by yourself,
Cause
but
that's
some
like
people leave
really
their
out
dog
there.
out.
You never know,
Yeah.
someone might
Yeah, that's
have a
what I
bad
would
reaction or something. Okay, all right, that's all my question.
Okay. Any other public comment? Anybody? Public comment? Anybody else? Okay. All right, closing public comment period number 2. Borough Council will conduct its next public meetings on Tuesday, March 12th, 2024, and Tuesday, March 26th, 2024, beginning at 7 PM. Correction, I will be at the next meeting. It's the 26th I will not be at.
Oh, there you go, now you have a month.
Now you have a whole month. Sorry. I was thinking this was the first meeting. It's the 26th I will not be here. 26th is the meeting I will not be here. I will be at the next meeting, the 12th. All right, motion to adjourn.
Yes.
Oh, second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?